Everyone, I'm Art Rascone reporting, and we have live breaking news to bring to you. Here we go again. Another high-speed chase, this one on the Beltway. This guy refuses to stop at a I think the police officers were attempting to try and stop him, and he refused to stop, and then he just went on his way. I believe it was a common traffic stop initially, but there we have the Beltway. There's the vehicle. It is a black sedan. You can see several police officers behind him. He's been on the run now for at least maybe about 10 minutes and continues to move. I'm not sure which direction on the Beltway. Perhaps we can get some more information, but all we know is that it's on the Beltway. Not sure if it's north, south, east, or west, or the other direction either. But he has refused to stop, and we do know that officers have been chasing him for about 10 minutes here. We don't know why he's running, other than that the police officers apparently tried to stop him for a traffic violation, and he refused to stop. But we don't know any other reason other than that. Samika Knight as well has just joined me, and as we continue to watch this high-speed chase.
So we're being told that there's only one person in that car, and it looks like a dark Chrysler. They're speeding past those cars there, Northeast Harris County on Beltway 8. Of course, we're trying to confirm exactly which direction that driver is going in right now. Does it look like he's slowing down a little bit, Art, or maybe still? I don't believe so.
He's speeding by those vehicles like they're practically standing still. He seems to move it along at a pretty good pace. Officers have only said that they've been chasing him for about that time, and that it was a simple traffic violation as a result of him just not stopping. That's why they continue to chase, but not sure why he's running.
So North Beltway coming around towards I-10 on the east side. Again, one person in that car, and you can sort of see him there as Sky is following this chase. Police, HPD, close behind the driver there. We don't know what led to this chase, why he refused to stop, but we do see him flying past vehicles there on the Beltway. So, of course, if you are in that area, if you know anyone in the area, ask them to make sure that they are aware of this and be very careful here.
This is northbound on the Beltway. Not sure if it is east Beltway northbound or west Beltway northbound, but we know it's northbound on the Beltway. So it's Northeast Harris County, so it must be East Beltway heading.
They're approaching Highway 90 now, we're being told, Art, here, our producer chiming in about that. Again, we do not know why this suspect took off. You mentioned that it was a traffic stop, right?
Violation of some sort on the highway or a roadway, and then officers tried to stop him, and he didn't stop. If they're going northbound on the East Beltway, then they're going to be approaching Highway 90. That's just past Wallaceville Road. If they continue to move this direction, they're going to be eventually getting into like the Summerwood area, and then they swing around.
Right.
And eventually headed westbound on the Beltway. And you have officers as well right there on the feeder road following him, attempting to keep up, and then those on the Beltway as well.
And it appears that, we're listening in to our producer, he just crossed New Highway 90. So for those in that area, you see the school bus there, speeding past this school bus. And as you mentioned, Art, their HPD, what appears to be HPD, and I'm sure Harris County Sheriff's deputies there as they are in Northeast Harris County, following this chase, and you can see spike strips being put out. Oh, wow, the suspect now going on a grassy area, going around the spike strips as police are, Harris County Sheriff's deputies and police.
Well,
he did go around the spike strips.
He went right around those spike strips. He's familiar with what he's doing then, but he's slowing down. He's not going nearly as fast. Don't know whether if any of the tires were affected as a result of him going off the road like that onto the brush. But he's again picking up speed. Apparently he's seen what they do, what the officers, he was well aware of what they were going to be doing. You can see the window is down. It looks like, well, he just rolled it up.
Window up there.
Yeah, tinted windows there, but you saw he was wearing a white shirt or a white T-shirt. He's picking up speed again, went right around those spike strips. And there is no shoulder, or there was no frontage road, excuse me. No feeder here, but he is now pulling over again. Let's see.
Here he is
He's going to be trying to get it onto.
Trying to go as
right through the rain and mud.
Police officer trying to sort of box him in there. Now, do we know his location now, Lauren?
Still northbound on the Beltway. This is the East Beltway northbound, and now he's on the feeder.
Approaching the East Freeway, and you see HPD, Harris County Sheriff's deputies, and see him zipping past these cars. How dangerous is that? He's now on the feeder road, slowing down, making a right turn here into, is this a subdivision? Actually, let's see, it appears to be a subdivision, heading into a subdivision there, speeding through, blowing past these stop signs, maybe a parking lot of some sort. Let's see if we can pull out here and see exactly where he's going. Speeding through this parking lot on the east side here, Northeast Harris County, near Beltway 8 still. This is a parking lot, potentially the 99-cent store parking lot, if I'm familiar with this area.
Well, he's
yes, a Wendy's 99-cent store, familiar with this area.
Clearly still trying to get away, but now back on the feeder road.
And this may actually be Wood Forest Drive here. You see him going through these stoplights, very dangerous. This is a heavily populated area. I believe this is Wood Forest Drive, speeding past here. If he keeps going, he will pass a school very soon. I believe this is in the North Shore area. So certainly if you are in this area, take heed that there is a police chase going on. The suspect, a single suspect in that vehicle.
Oh, there he goes, just smashing into the vehicle. Let's hope that vehicle is okay, or the person's in that car.
There are 2 or 3.
We have
now
3
the suspect
vehicles.
jumping
now
out of the car.
Jumping out, and the guns are drawn.
Guns drawn.
He looks like he's trying to do something.
Possibly gunshots being fired right now. So we're pulling out just a little bit as police try to apprehend this suspect.
All right, let's watch for a moment and calm down as we look and see what happens. You can see the man there on the ground. You can see the officers with their guns drawn. Shots were definitely fired. He appeared as though he was reaching for something. They are right there on top of him now, getting him in handcuffs, no doubt. He ran into one vehicle, made him veer off to another, and smashed into an SUV. And that was right there on the feeder road in Northeast Harris County. If they can push in just a bit, because we can't see anything at this point.
This is potentially Wood Forest Drive
or
Wallaceville Drive.
That's good. That's good.
You can see the suspect
All right, the suspect is clearly down on the ground. They're not sure. At this point, we want to keep our distance, of course, and be careful with and sensitive to this situation. But clearly the officers there on the scene, with their guns drawn initially, shots were fired because you could see that smoke from the individual pistols. Don't know how many shots were fired, but he slammed right into that small, what appears to be a smart car. Let's hope the individual in that car is okay. Then I guess we're told that it was a PT Cruiser that he ran into, which allowed him to lose control, eventually running into an SUV. Then he got out of the vehicle, and that's when, I don't know, it looked like he kept reaching in to grab something inside his vehicle.
Here's what we should mention here. At this intersection, this is right in front of the YMCA in the North Shore area. We should also mention that North Shore High School is very close to this intersection, but not only that, there is a middle school very close to this area and an elementary school very close to this intersection. And as you can see, that crash happening right there at that intersection. We do not know the condition of the driver in that white, what believes to be a PT Cruiser. Of course, that driver being checked out right now as police are still trying to clear this scene or trying to work on this situation here. We believe that the suspect was apprehended. No word on his condition right now, but we should just warn people in the area that this is happening near North Shore High School, near an elementary school very close by, and also a middle school within walking distance of this. And you can see the YMCA children are there as well. This is on the northeast side, Northeast Harris County, very close to either Wood Forest Drive or Wallaceville Drive. So just keeping all of this in mind as this police chase has now ended. Not sure of the condition of the suspect, nor those involved in that crash. The white car there, we're not sure if it's a PT Cruiser or not, but possibly a smart car, as you mentioned. One,
yeah. But you see the vehicles involved there. There you see the white car. I'm not sure if that's a PT Cruiser or not, but then you see his sedan. And then on the other side is an SUV that he also ran into. So there were at least 3 vehicles involved here,
Yeah.
but what a tragic end
Right.
to another high-speed chase, which we see so often here in Houston. And sadly, it ended with gunshots being fired.
Right.
We do not know the condition of the suspect, and we do not know if any other officers were injured in this scenario either. So we're checking on all of that information, trying to determine that as we continue to look at a number of police officers here, not only from the city, but as well as the county. You can see the difference there in their police cars.
And Art, as you mentioned, as that police chase came to a close, we couldn't really tell what the suspect was doing. We saw him get out of the vehicle, and it appeared that he went for something. He sort of got out, went back into the vehicle, and it appeared he may have had something potentially on him or reaching for something. We're not sure right now.
I don't know.
But it did lead to gunshots being fired. And we're going to...
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and re-rack the video. There it is, and this is the last few seconds. You can see the sedan running this on the feeder road here, and watch this closely.
Oh.
Boom, that's where he hits the vehicle. Then he loses control, of course, hits an SUV, which hits another vehicle. Then he jumps out, and then he goes back in.
Right.
Not sure what he's doing there, but then that's when shots were fired. There it is again, another smash of that vehicle on the intersection, then that SUV hitting another van. He gets out, gets back in, and then that's when the shots were fired.
Right. So right
immediately
now,
after that.
you're taking a live look at the scene here as investigators now sort of try to itemize evidence here on the scene. They're putting down the numbers potentially for bullet shell casings. Right now, we're trying to figure out the condition of the suspect, also the condition of those drivers in that white car, as you saw, the one that seemed to have been heavily impacted there by that crash, and also the driver of the 2 SUVs as a result of that crash. Again, northeast Harris County, potentially either Wood Forest or Wallaceville Road. We do know that this is in the North Shore area. In that parking lot you see to the right, the top right of your screen, that is a drugstore, possibly a Walgreens drugstore. We have a crew headed to the ground right now. That is the YMCA. Behind that is North Shore High School. Directly in front of us right now is an elementary school, and there is a middle school very close by. So, of course, we're still following this.
Harris County deputies on the scene, as well as Houston Police Department. And when you have a situation like this, of course, there is a great deal of investigation that will be done. This entire roadway is completely shut down. If we can get the exact name of this street, that would be great, and the intersection as well, because we're a bit unclear as to the name of this street. But we will indicate that all of this area is shut down. So any cars headed this direction are simply going to be turned around. Okay, they are on Wallaceville Road. Here are the final seconds once again as that vehicle approaches the intersection. Watch closely. It happens very quickly. First, that vehicle is smashed. He loses control, smashes into an SUV, into a van, jumps out, then gets back in, and then shots are fired.
Wow. And we can only imagine at this point that students are being kept inside of their classrooms right now. And Art, as you know, in a situation like this where you have schools certainly around this area, thankful that school was not being let out at the time.
Right. Yeah, this is a situation where anything close by would be under lockdown, including that YMCA over there if it has some children's programs. What a tragic end to another police chase, which we often follow here in the Houston area. This guy running for about 20 minutes before he crashed into that vehicle, and then shots were fired. We do not know the condition of the victim, of the suspect who was running. We know that he was initially, police officers attempted to stop him because of a traffic violation, and that's when he continued to run and police gave chase. On at least one occasion, possibly 2, he went off to the side of the road, avoiding the spike strips that are on the freeway that they placed to try and get him to stop. He was able to avoid those, so he was certainly determined.
and
get away.
We're going back to this video here on Wallaceville Drive as the suspect approached this intersection, slamming into that white car there. We're checking on the condition of the drivers, and then essentially into two other vehicles. The suspect, as you see there, goes back into the car, and then gunshots are fired. Again, looking at that scene as he slams into the white car, then two SUVs, jumps out of the vehicle, looks around, goes back inside, and then gunshots are fired. And we'll stop the video right there. We do not know the condition of the suspect right now. Of course, police and investigators and EMT, EMS checking on the driver of that white car. We see an ambulance there on the scene right now, checking on the driver of that car, also the two SUVs involved. This again is on Wallaceville Road at an intersection there. Art, you mentioned the chase went on for about, what, 20 minutes or so?
About 20 minutes. We got into it about 7 or 8 minutes into the chase. Sky Eye HD all over the scene. We were just following it, of course, for about 5 or 10 minutes before it came to this tragic end. Now, of course, officers in this case, the adrenaline is running. They jump out of their vehicle. We don't have the advantage, of course, of hearing anything that was spoken on the ground. But clearly there were words exchanged. But at this point, you can see the vehicle there at a distance. You can see it had crashed into the SUV, and you can see a white tarp over the suspect in this case. So presumably the man passed away, but we don't have that confirmed, of course. And we don't have any ambulance services there at the scene. We don't have any emergency services other than a host of police deputies, of police officers, and Harris County deputies as well. And then you have the white indicators there on the road, which all of that indicates the shell casings from the gunshots which were fired.
And we have seen we have seen at least one ambulance now arriving here on the scene, and you see investigators speaking to the person there in that white car.
And we will be right back.